Smashing Pumpkins, Drown, Guitar Tabs, and Guitar Lesson. I'm going to play all the parts right at the beginning. Afterwards, I'll go back through, give the full explanation for it. Do me a big favor, hit that subscription button. It's the best way of letting me know that you like this video and you want to see more Smashing Pumpkins stuff. And now, let's jump on into it. Alright, so for the tuning here, we're in a drop D tuning, D-A-D, G-B-E. Right, and this initial intro riff carries on through the verse, all that stuff. There's one slight little variant in the beginning with the intro, but for the most part, this is what's going on. We start with the open A and an 11 on the D. Alright, we strum that 3 times. And we're just kind of muting all the other strings with our, like other fingers, like the ring finger and the thumb. Just we want those 2 strings. No big deal if you hit the other strings, just kind of sounds good. And so strumming that 3 times, the open A and the 11D. We come down, quickly hit this 9 on the G with the open D. And then we walk it back where we go the 11D with the open A to the 9D open A. And then ultimately we land on the 12A and we'll hit the open low D with that. And here we just kind of go back and forth. We strum that 12A open D, a few more times. And then we go 9A open D, 12A open D, and just do that again. So let's do it all slowly here. And like I said, that carries throughout most of the verse and the intro. The only slight hitch is in the intro. There's a variant there where, the first half of it pretty much stays the same all the way till we get to our 12A open low D. But at that point, then we just kind of go right to the 9 on the A open D, and we just hang out there for 5 strums or so. Okay, it's the only variant that really happens there, and mostly just an intro there. For the chorus, switches to more like sus2 chords. Starts with the C, so we're just hitting that 10 low D, 10 on the A, add the 12 middle D, 12 on the G, and it's just kind of like a strum, little shuffle strum there. Alright, then we hit it, slide it down to the G at the 5s on the low D, A, 7 on the middle D and G, and then we hit it there a couple times. And then we come up to this A power chord at just the 7s on the D, A, D. And we give that a couple strums, and then we do this little bit where we go, hit the 7s again, but then add a 9 on the middle D. So we went, and we repeat that little section twice. And we'll finish the chorus by hitting this big open D suspended 2, or just kind of looks like a regular D chord, but we leave that high E open and we add that low D and the A string with it, open. Alright, and we let that ring for a moment, and then we do this little scale up on the G, and we kind of interweave some open low Ds with it, where we hit that 2 on the G, then an open low D, slide that 2 G to 4, hit the open low D, and then we slide the 4 to 7, hit the open low D, and then we finish by sliding the 7 to 9, and then 9 to 11. Alright, and then cap it all off by hitting this E power chord at the 7, A, 9 on the D. And that'll get us back into our main pattern. Alright, for the little mini solo, it's basically two guitars doing a lead over the top of each other, so we can more or less combine them here. I would say just know that one guitar is playing what I'm doing on the D string here, and the other guitar is playing what I'm doing on the G. So if you want to separate them, you can do that, but if you want to combine them, it'll look something like this. You want a good amount of like fuzz tone and gain and sustain, because we're essentially hitting a note and just letting it ring, and it rings for quite a while. Starts off at that 11 on the middle D. Alright, we're going to hit that, and that's what the first guitar is doing. Then the second guitar does this bit where it'll do a pre-bent 9 on the G, hits it, and then slowly releases it. So it sounds something like... that type of vibe. Alright, and then from there we slide that 11D down to the 7. And once we get to that 7, we hit it again, and then the second guitar would join in with this 4 on the G, that B note, and just bends that. So, okay, and that can be a little bit of a stretch. So, if that's too much of a pain, you can do it up here, where you hit the 12 on the A and bend the 9 on the D, just the same. Okay, if that works a little better for you, you can try that. Either spot. I just kind of like that one because I like the flat G there. And after that, we just slide it right back up to the 11D and the 9 on the G. You can hit them together, and then just give that 9 on the G a slow bend and release. Bridge section. And I guess this is like the first bridge. There's then another section that also is a kind of a bridge, I guess. But here, we're starting with some A power chord at the 7s. Alright, just kind of give it like a 2 strum. Alright, and then we'll hit like this big chord. We really want to like focus on hitting the 7s on the high E and B with it. It's a little faint in the recording, but it's definitely there. Okay, a couple strums on that, and then we'll add this 10 on the B with it. Alright, and then we'll switch over to this D chord now, where we hit the open low D, the 9 on the A, and the 11 on the G. Give that a few strums. Slide our octave right there, the 9, 11, slide that up to 12 and 14, keeping that open low D, and then we just kind of give that a few strums. And then we just slide it right back to the 9 and the 11. Alright, for the solo chords, they're also the outro chords. We kind of do this big A power chord at the 7s, hit it, and then we do this big kind of slide up and out, and then we'll land on like this big voiced C power chord by hitting the 10s on the DAD and adding that 12 on the G. Give a couple strums there, and then we drop it down to a G sus2 at the 5 on the D and A and add that 7 on the middle D, and we just strum that out. Alright, and then we have our second bridge or interlude, whatever you prefer. It's just kind of picking through this clean like D sus2 chord. You know, we're just kind of going through like the open middle D, 2G, 3B. You can come back up through it and then come down through, hit the open high E. Just kind of picking through it real loose. That type of vibe. And, you know, we cruise through it just like that a few times. There's a slight variant where it does this bit where it pulls the 3B to 2. Something like that, you know. And, you know, you can just throw that in the mix of it as we're cruising through that and just finish with a big open D power chord just like that.